Konnichiwa, Samurai James here. This is part 2 of my series on 7 Supplemental Samurai Armors. Alright, part 2 here. In part 1, we covered the Nodawa, which is defense for the throat. Part 2, the Gyoyo. These are small flaps that are actually tied onto the cuirass that I'm going to show you in a minute how they attach. There are a few different types of shape to them, and there's another variation called the Kyobi no Ita and Sendan no Ita. That is typical in the older Oyuroi style armors, where as they hang down here, you would actually see a large solid plate on the left and a piece with 1 or 2 articulated pieces on the right. Now, we don't know exactly when these came about. They are sort of an evolution piece of armor that derives from a few different pieces. There's a type of armor piece called a kohiri, which is a winglet that sits on top of the do and would sometimes be worn if you weren't wearing osode or other sode. And what happens is you can actually wear it to the side like this on a kohiri, or if it's on a lace rather than a hinge, it could actually fall down in front. And what this does is protect the gap here in between the edge of the do and part of your arm, so it helps to guard your armpit. Okay, now we've got the Gyoyo tied on in place, and where did the straps on the Wanagami go? Well, you don't see them now, because one of the secondary functions of the Gyoyo, in addition to protecting you from getting stabbed in the armpits or struck in the armpits like that, is it protects the straps on the Wanagami. Now, the Wanagami is the piece that sits over your shoulders here that ties off to keep the body armor attached to you. Obviously, if those get damaged or completely severed, that's a problem because your body armor is going to be hanging off of you, and that can be a real problem because that's protecting your vital organs. So these are a really cool little accessory that will provide an answer to all the people that say, "Samurai armor sucks, I would just cut the dude's straps off and then stab him in the heart." Now, are there other variations of the Gyoyo? Well, in appearance, sometimes they would have pattern Igawa over it. I went with a plain design for mine because I wanted it to tie in with the black and the brass, but I didn't end up going with the Igawa. However, this is one of those supplemental armors that I have not seen a variation that included Kusari or mail. I have only seen them in the form of solid plates. That's a wrap for the Gyoyo. Let's move on to a little bit further up on the shoulders. For this one, this is Samurai James saying thanks for watching and sayonara.